of the cowherd, Sudhamate, whose mentality is most wicked. Neshe, I will remove Virya in his power. Madam, the intoxicated pride. Yena, by which. Svasa, sister. Man, my. Prasabam, violently. Rita, abducted. Translation. Put by Srila Prabhupada. This wicked-minded cowherd boy, infatuated with his prowess, has violently abducted my sister. But today I will remove his pride with my sharp arrows. Purport. Srila Sridhar Swami explains that Gopalasya actually means of the protector of the Vedas, while Dharmate means of him. Someone chanted Java. Of him whose beautiful mind is compassionate even towards the wicked. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti adds that the real meaning of what Rukmini said is that today, fighting with Lord Krishna, Rukmini would relieve himself of his pretensions to being a great hero. Let's go on, text 23. Vikatamana kumatir Ishvarasya pramanavit Ratenaikena govindam Tista tistet yatavayat. Boasting thus, foolish Rukmini, ignorant of the true extent of the Supreme Lord's power, approached Lord Govinda in his lone chariot and challenged him, "Just stand and fight!" Purport. It appears from these verses that though Rukmini set out with an entire military division, he personally rushed up to Lord Krishna to fight with him. Can someone get the Krishna book in relationship to this? It's always interesting to see what Prabhupada added in the Krishna book. Danor Vikrishya Surdidam Jagne Krishnam Tivesharai Aha Chatrakshanam Tista Yadunam Kulapam Shanam. Rukmini drew his bow with great strength and struck Lord Krishna with 3 arrows. Then he said, "Stand here for a moment, O defiler of the Yadu dynasty." Purport. Srila Sridhar Swami points out that Kula Pumshana, this is chapter 54. Okay. Found the place? Find the paragraph. Rukmini drew his bow with great strength and struck Lord Krishna with 3 arrows. Then he said, "Stand here for a moment, O defiler of the Yadu dynasty." Purport. Srila Sridhar Swami points out that Kula Pamshana may be understood as a combination of the words Kula Pa, O master of the Yadu dynasty, and Angshana, O expert killer of enemies. The Acharya gives the grammatical details that makes this interpretation possible. In great stupidity, Rukma stood before Krishna, telling him repeatedly, thus this unintelligent man, Rukmini, ignorant of the extent of the strength and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, voiced his impudent threats. Prabhupada says, after vibrating all these, there we are. After thus vibrating all these boasting words, Rukmi immediately got in his chariot and told his chariot driver to pursue Krishna. He said, I want to fight with him immediately. This coward boy has become proud of his tricky way of fighting with Kshatriyas. But today I shall teach him a good lesson, because he had the impudence to kidnap my sister. I with my sharp arrows shall teach him very good lessons indeed. Thus this unintelligent man, Rukmi, ignorant of the extent of the strength and activities of the Supreme Person of God, voiced his impudent threats. In great stupidity he stood before Krishna, telling him repeatedly, stop for a minute and fight with me. After saying this, he drew his bow and directly shot 3 forceful arrows against Krishna's body. Then he condemned Krishna as the most abominable descendant of the Yadu dynasty and asked him to stand before him for a minute so that he could teach him a good lesson. You are carrying away my sister just like a crow, stealing clarified butter meant for use in a sacrifice. You are proud of your military strength, but you cannot fight according to regulated principles. You have stolen my sister. Now I shall relieve you of all your false prestige. You can keep my sister in your possession only until I beat you to the ground for good with my arrows. Dano Viksha Sujidam Jagne Krishnam Chibi Sharai Ahacha Chakshanam Tista Gadunam Kulapam Shanam. Rukmi drew his bow with great strength and struck Lord Krishna with 3 arrows. Then he said, stand here for a moment, or defile of the Yadu dynasty. Text 25. Yatra Yashi Swasaram Mushidva Dvankshavad Dvavi Hariskya Madam Manda Mayana Kutayodinam. Wherever you go, carrying off my sister like a crow, stealing sacrificial butter, I will follow. This very day I shall relieve you of your false pride. You fool, you deceiver, you cheater in battle. Purport. In this hysterical attack, Rukmi displays the very qualities he attributes to Sri Krishna. Every living being is part and parcel of the Lord and belongs to the Lord. Therefore, Rukmi was like a crow, trying to steal the sacrificial offering meant for the enjoyment of the Lord. Yavaname hato banai saita munchadarikam smayam krishnodanas chitva sadvi visvajal rukminam. Release this girl before you are struck dead by my arrows and made to lie down. In response to this, Lord Krishna smiled and with his 6 arrows he struck Rukmi and broke his bow. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that in fact Lord Krishna was meant to lie down together with Rukmini on a beautiful bed of flowers. But out of shyness, Rukmi did not directly mention this point. Text 27. Ashtabhischaturo vaham Babayam Sutam Dvajam Tivi Sachanya Dano Adaya Krishnam Vivyada Panchavi. The Lord struck Rukmi's 4 horses with 8 arrows, his chariot driver with 2, and the chariot's flag with 3. Rukmi grabbed another bow and struck Lord Krishna with 5 arrows. Amazing. Lord Krishna, after hearing all these crazy words from Rukmi, immediately shot an arrow and severed the string of Rukmi's bow, making him unable to use another arrow. Rukmi immediately took another bow and shot another 5 arrows at Krishna. Being attacked for the 2nd time, Krishna again severed Rukmi's bowstring. Rukmi took a 3rd bow and Krishna again cut its string. This time to teach Rukmi a lesson, Krishna shot 6 arrows at him and then shot another 8 arrows, killing 4 horses with 4 arrows, killing the chariot driver and another arrow and chopping off the upper portion of Rukmi's chariot. including the flag with the remaining 3 arrows. Amazing, huh? Text 28. Tai staditi sarogaistu chitedo dana ajuta puna anyad upadata tad apya chinad avyayam. Although hit by these many arrows, Lord Achyuta again broke Rukmi's bow. Rukmi picked up yet another bow, but the infallible Lord broke that one to pieces as well. Parigam patisam surulam shamvasi shakti tamaro yad yad ayudam adata tatsavam sochina darim. Iron bludgeon, 3-pointed spear, sword and shield, pike, javelin, whatever weapon Rukmi picked up, Lord Hari smashed it to bits. Tatora tad avupluja kadgapani chigamshaya Krishna abhyayavat kruda patanga eva pavakam. Then Rukmi leapt down from his chariot, sword in his hand, rushed furiously towards Krishna to kill him, like a bird flying into the wind. Tasya chapata kadgam tilashas chama cheshubim chitvashim adade tigmam Rukminam mantum ujjata. As Rukmi attacked him, the Lord shot arrows that broke Rukmi's sword and shield into small pieces. Krishna then took up his own sharp sword and prepared to kill Rukmi. Rukmi, having run out of arrows, took assistance from swords, shields, tridents, lances and similar weapons used for fighting hand to hand. But Krishna immediately broke them all in the same way. Being repeatedly baffled in his attempts, Rukmi took his sword and ran swiftly towards Krishna, just as a fly proceeds towards a fire. Patitva Padayobatur Ruva Chakaranam Sati. Seeing Lord Krishna ready to kill her brother, saintly Rukmini was filled with alarm. She fell at her husband's feet and piteously spoke as follows. Shri Rukmini Vacha Yogeshvara Pramayatman Deva Deva Jagatpate Antum Nahasi Kalyana Rataram Me Mahabhuja Mahabhush. Shri Rukmini said, O controller of all mystic power, immeasurable one, Lord of the Lords, Master of the universe, O all auspicious and mighty Amran, please do not kill my brother. We'll finish on this one. Shri Shrupravacha Taya Paritra Savikam Pitangaya Suchavalushan Mukha Rudakantaya Katarya Visram Sita Hemamalaya Grihita Pada Karuna Navatata. Shukadev Goswami said, Rukmini's utter fear caused her limbs to tremble, her mouth to dry up, while her throat choked up out of sorrow. And in her agitation a golden necklace scattered. She grasped Krishna's feet, and the Lord, feeling compassion, desisted. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes, the worldly rule that one's sister is the personification of mercy. Dayaya Bhagini Murti. Even though Rukmini was wicked and was opposed to his sister's best interest, Rukmini was compassionate towards him, and the Lord shared her compassion. Rukmini first addressed Krishna as Yogeshwara. Yogeshwara means one who is possessed of inconceivable opulence and energy. Krishna possesses inconceivable opulence and energy, whereas Rukmini's brother had only limited military potency. Krishna is immeasurable, whereas her brother was measured in every step of his life. Therefore Rukmini was not comparable even to an insignificant insect before the unlimited power of Krishna. She also addressed Krishna as the God of the gods, Deva Deva. There are many powerful demigods, such as Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Indra, Chandra and Varuna, but Krishna is the Lord of all these gods, whereas Rukmini's brother was not only an ordinary human being, but in fact the lowest of all, because he had no understanding of Krishna. In other words, a human being who has no conception of the actual position of Krishna is the lowest in human society. Then Rukmini addressed Krishna as Mahabhuj, which means one with unlimited strength. She also addressed Krishna as Jagatpati, the master of the whole cosmic manifestation. In comparison, her brother was only an ordinary prince. In this way, Rukmini compared the position of Rukmini with that of Krishna, and very feelingly pleaded with her husband not to kill her brother just at the auspicious time of her being united with Krishna, but to excuse him. In other words, she displayed her real position as a woman. She was happy to get Krishna as a husband at the moment when her marriage to another was to be performed, but she did not want to be at the loss of her elder brother, who after all loved his young sister and wanted to hand her over to one who, according to his own calculation, was a better man. While Rukmini was praying to Krishna for the life of her brother, her whole body trembled, and because of her anxiety, her face appeared to dry up, and her throat became choked, and due to her trembling, the ornaments on her body loosened and fell scattered on the ground. In this manner, when Rukmini was very much perturbed, she fell down on the ground, and Lord Krishna immediately became passionate and agreed not to kill the foolish Rukmini. Srila Prabhupada ki. So Krishna Valantu Shah Krishna and Sango Pangrashta Vashadam. No, that's the wrong verse. Janma Kama Jamedivyam Evam Yogati Tapata Chakradayam Punajanma Naiti Mamiti Sojan. One who remembers and knows the transcendental appearance and activities of the Lord doesn't have to take birth again in this material world. So this is a Krishna conscious movement's contribution to human society. People think, what are we doing here in our own little world, make-believe world? They don't understand that something is very important for human society is going on. Shreya Karava Chandrika Vicharanam Vijabhada Jivan, that the supreme welfare work for all humanity is Krishna consciousness. Otherwise people don't know where to place their loving propensity. Everywhere we see Oxford Street, everywhere, it's all to do with love and attracting opposite sex, especially the fashion, world of fashion. And so this loving propensity is there. It's being frustrated. We don't know that this propensity to love, to serve others, is meant for Krishna. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for redirecting human society to the ultimate personality, the supreme lovable object, Krishna, the most attractive person. And so these persons are very nice. So everyone likes some drama. You look at the news, there's always some drama, some going on, some horrible, gruesome thing, some abduction. It's very common, abduction. Girls are abducted, put into brothels, or they're taken away by some enemy, and then some hero tries to find them and save them. So all these pastimes are understandable to people. And by hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimvatam Spakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Rijantasto Yabhadrani, Vidunoti Suritsatam, that when Krishna sees us hearing, then he's within our heart. We hear the Spakata Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, and Krishna's in the heart, and he wants to reach us. And at this time, he's reaching out to us. He's trying to remind us of him, who we've forgotten from so many births and lifetimes in this material world, so many species of life. We've forgotten him. So we're engrossed, we're trapped in this dream. It's like, I don't know if any If any of you have been attacked by a ghost, sometimes one's attacked by a ghost, and you're trapped in a mental trap, you can't escape. And it's like, everyone is trapped by Maya, ghostly haunted. By Maya, we're thinking with this body is me, I'm British. I was just hearing a lecture by Prabhupada. He says, this nationalism is Gundaism. I hope you can hear out there in Mayapur. This actually was in Bhubaneswar, I think. Prabhupada said it was 1977. Nationalism is Gundaism. You know what another name for Gundaism?
Youngsters.
But it is a more popular word, beginning with T. Terrorism. Terrorism. Nationalism means terrorism. It means that one group of people, for some reason or other, they want to lord it over and exploit, extort, hurt other people. This is nationalism. Just like dogs on the street corner. Immigration department. Woof, woof. Who goes there? Woof, woof, woof. Who's coming to my country? Who's going to my country? Woof, woof. Where's your paper? Where's your immigration? Where's your visa? This is completely bogus. Anybody can see. The clouds don't have. Do the clouds have to have a visa? Hey, excuse me, sir. I've seen a cloud blowing across the British Channel. It didn't have a visa. I didn't give it a stamp in his passport. He's got away. The clouds are invading. And the birds also. I saw some sparrows. I saw some seagulls. They had no visa. What about the fishes? Fishes are swimming everywhere. No passports. What about the air? The air's blowing everywhere. I think we should put a big fence up around the British Isles, Mr. Cameron. Put a big fence, stop the air blowing. Stop the birds coming. Stop the fishes coming. Because it's all Britain here. But no, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita says, no. This is a bogus idea that actually everything belongs to a dirty three-letter word that nobody wants to hear. G-O-D. Nobody wants to hear that God is the proprietor. What's that verse? Chapter 5, text 59. Bhoktaram yagitapasam Savaloka Maheshwaram Suridam Sarvabhutanam Yatmamasha. God must be the owner. Or even the Big Bang. Let's say God is a Big Bang. The Big Bang is the owner. It all came from the Big Bang. It didn't come from America. It didn't come from England. It didn't come from Sweden. It didn't come from Africa. Even the other planets, where did they come from? Okay, they come from the Big Bang. Okay, so the Big Bang is the owner. You can't just like, the Romans came, and then the poor Druids were here, and the Angles and Danes, and they took over. And then some other people came in America. Columbus went and others went and took over from the Red Indians, and now they're putting up the immigration department. They kick the other people out, and now new people come. And we're so foolish, we think, this is my country, I'm born here. You see? So when we talk about Krishna, we're not talking about some little baby talk, mythology, little story, or the Hare Krishnas. They believe Krishna is stealing the butter. Hoo, hoo, hoo. How nice they are. They're the sweet people. They're nice. No. Prabhupada is saying this nationalism is Gundarism. We're saying nationalism is good. We're not this body. We should understand we're not this body. None of us. Even Obama, even Cameron, and all these other people that claim they're so clever and powerful. Well, any moment they'll be kicked out. You can get your prostate gland inflamed, or whatever it is, heart attack, liver problem. Okay, out of the scene. Next one, please. Next fool who wants to stand on the throne and pretend that he's God, or that there is no God, or that this land belongs to us, this land belongs to me. Just because we are born in this country, we're thinking, I am British, I am American, I am Estonian, you know. This is crazy. It's no better than the dog on the street corner. But the Krishna consciousness means we have to find unity on another platform, not in United Nations. As long as we're on the bodily platform, with this Gundarism, this terroristic idea, will there never be cooperation, there'll never be unity, never be unification. But when we understand the essence of this Vedic knowledge, that we're not this body, we're eternal spirit souls. We're changing bodies, lifetime after lifetime, even in this lifetime, from childhood to youth to old age. We're consciousness, we're not going to die. The body changes every moment, we still don't die. So why do we think we're going to die at the time of death? So we're here permanently, and we're permanent in existence. So unless we come to this platform of unity, we can never have United Nations. The spiritual platform is the platform of unity and peace and prosperity on this planet. Not all diplomacy and financial corporations trying to do this and that. It won't work. Because on the body platform we're different languages, different mentalities, different countries, different foods. So where's the question of cooperation? No. But on the platform of spiritual knowledge and realization, we can have peace and prosperity. So this Krishna consciousness movement, when we go down Oxford Street, we're chanting Hare Krishna, we're distributing books. We're not doing some sentimental, thing. We're actually giving a solution, because this sound vibration is very deadly, actually. It's actually awakening people's spiritual awareness by the sound vibration. People are realizing, well, I'm not this body. So why am I fighting this nationalism? Why am I fighting this Hindu, Christian, Muslim? This kind of religiosity is an anachronism. It's not actually religiosity. Religiosity begins, real religion means, it starts with, I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul. I'm not Hindu, Muslim, Christian, all this stuff. I'm not this body, it doesn't matter. It's very simple, Krishna consciousness. We're all a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the message of Lord Chaitanya. Achintya Veda Veda Tattva is a great science. And we want people to understand this science. And then there will be peace and harmony in the world, not by any, I believe this, I believe that, but by realization, by making an experiment. Why don't the leaders of England and America, the senators, try this process to solve your problems, your economic problems? Can so easily be solved if you just understand what is God, what you are, what is this material nature, the simple science, the ABC of spiritual life. If people understand this, then everyone can live happily and fulfill a human form of life. So, Krishna consciousness movement is the most important movement, and we're very lucky to be part of it, and we're very lucky to be disciples of Srila Prabhupada and taking his books, going door to door, going on the street, and doing the supreme welfare work for humanity. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We invite everyone, please take Srila Prabhupada's books home with you. Wherever you see a book being distributed, take one, come to our temples, try this process, Bhakti Yoga, and rise above the problems of life, solve the problems of life. And when we leave this body, go back to Godhead. So thank you. Any questions, please? It's a bit late, 8:45. Yeah?
I want to ask why, although we distribute so many hundreds of books, we have so little devotees, not so much devotees.
Why we distribute so many hundreds of books,
and thousands of books.
thousands of books?
And many of people who take books, they read these books,
Yeah.
but they don't become devotees.
Oh, they're becoming devotees. Prabhupada said, anyone who even reads a line of my books, their life is changed. So it's a gradual process, awakening process. It's not that everyone's on the same level, according to the modes of nature. If people are very covered in the mode of ignorance, just like animals and plants and fishes, drunkards, and like many people today, it takes a while before they can grasp it. You know, I don't want to claim to be anyone special, but you know, when I first saw Hare Krishna, I was on Portobello Road, down Ladbroke Grove way, and I always remember this because I was in a very dark period of my life, student after university, not knowing quite what to do with myself, but just resorting to the usual mundane materialistic activities. So I was on a Sunday morning. That was Portobello Market Day. And I was just standing on the street corner in the winter, very cold, January, or maybe December, all alone and feeling, probably trying to do some nefarious activities. And all of a sudden I had ting, 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 and there was mist everywhere. It was very cold and it was just mist. You couldn't see the railway bridge. There's a railway bridge just nearby. And then the tink, 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 tink got louder and louder. And then all of a sudden, the Sankirtan party came out from under the bridge. And then the sun shone through the cloud and made like a spotlight. It was like a horror movie to me. It was like steam was coming from them, and shaven heads, tilak, sweating, jumping. I thought, oh no. It was horrible. I was almost sick on the spot. I just, you know, oh God, let me get out of here. I thought this was horrible. It spoiled my whole day. My day was ruined.
What made your life?
Yeah. That was the first time I saw the devotees. It was probably Sri Bhuvanath and the Sankirtan devotees. So, just see what happened to me. I didn't even know, what was going on. I just thought it was horrible. They've seen like Vishnu Dutas almost, like chanting, people chanting Hare Krishna. It has impact. They'll always remember that. I saw the Hare Krishnas. What were they doing? I don't know. What they're about, I don't know. But I saw them, I heard them. And they're in London, up and down the street. So we have to be patient, and we have to prepare our temples to welcome people when they do come. And we're trying to do that. Make things really nice, so that when somebody comes, they never want to leave, Prabhupada said. Temples should be so nice that when people come, and even if they don't want to, if they just start at home. They sit at home and read and start chanting, and they're watching on the internet. How do you know how many people are out there? You don't know. Maybe millions and trillions. But they're very interested in Hare Krishna. One time, my godbrother Dhruvanatha, he was selling paintings. He used to sell, in those days, he used to sell paintings in kami clothes, so nobody would know you are Hare Krishna. And he was selling these paintings somewhere in England. And the guy started talking about religion. And the guy who was buying the paintings said, I think there's only all religions are bogus. except Hare Krishna. That's what he said. What am I doing here? Am I hiding away like this, pretending no, I'm not Hare Krishna? And the guy who's buying the paintings is saying, I think everything's bogus except Hare Krishna. It's just like a regular guy. But he somehow or other, he had understood the essence, even though he was a closet Krishna. So we have to keep on building on what's already been done. We shouldn't be faint-hearted and think that we're failing. Same time, we shouldn't be stuck to stereotype methods. We should always be thinking. Prabhupada says the Acharya, and Acharya is always thinking how to reach out to people in different ways, to make Krishna consciousness available to us, to people, to make it attractive. Because we can't water it down. We can't water Krishna consciousness down like the 4 rules and regs. But still, anyone who's chanting Hare Krishna is on the path. So we're very liberal in that way. Anyone can chant. And we should be thinking, let's find ways to reach out to people. I'm sure there's so many ways we haven't explored how to reach people in Krishna consciousness. Just like school is coming today. This is really good. Nice school program. They're doing it at the Manor. One time I was in Wales, staying at, what's his name, Dr. Dev? In his little village in the middle of nowhere. And I was walking on a Jaffa walk in a Welsh valley in the middle of nowhere, and then some school kids came along. 2 schoolgirls came along. And they stopped and said, are you Hare Krishna? Oh, I don't know my Welsh word. You boy, you Hare Krishna? You are Hare Krishna, are you? We just went to the chippy, watching the rugby at the pub. But he didn't say that. I was just practicing my Welsh accent. We had Hare Krishnas came to our school. And we dressed up as Hare Krishna. And we sang Hare Krishna. It was very nice, thank you. In the middle of nowhere. These children, they knew about Hare Krishna. They had a school program. So, you know. You shouldn't be discouraged. If you want to be discouraged, you can come to places like Africa. You really want to be discouraged. You know, it's like, it seems like a hopeless case. But no, here is definitely signs of Krishna consciousness. If you want to see them, we can see them as signs of spiritual awakening. And this Krishna book is most important because that's the icing on the cake. Otherwise people are thinking, what's the difference between Hare Krishnas and the Muslims and the Christians and the Hindus and the Parsis and the this and that? What's the difference? They're all the same. The only thing that we've got different is Krishna. Who else has got Krishna? Nobody's got Krishna. Nobody can say, we have a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is anyone saying it? Except us? Nobody is saying that Krishna has his body is Satchitananda Vigraha. He's the source of everything. Jagat Pate, Deva Deva, Jagat Pate. Just like Rukmini is saying. Nobody is saying that. That actually a person who walked on this planet, he talked and walked, can be the Big Bang. The moving Big Bang can actually come and sit on his chariot and, play around with Rukmini, steal Rukmini, and cut off the beard of Rukmini. They're thinking, God must be something abstract. It doesn't fit together. Otherwise, where's all this intelligence coming from? Who's ever seen, in mathematical terms, how something more complicated comes from something simple. It just doesn't happen. I don't know what the scientific term is. You take a complicated thing, it breaks down into simple things by the laws of nature. You don't get a house built up by the laws of nature. You get a house degraded, broken down. Just see next door how the trouble it's to make that place. This guy's thinking 24 hours how to get the concrete in, how to get the bars in the right order, how to bring all the trucks in, and then sell the flats before they're built. So much intelligence to build that place. But if they just drop one bomb on it, the whole thing fall down. So easy, So destruction is very easy just by the laws of nature. But construction, you require intelligence. And yet we're so blind that we can't see that behind this material nature there's a supreme intelligence. So whose intelligence is that? That's the question. Whose intelligence? Whose nature? And we've got the answer. It's Krishna. If people want to challenge that, let them come. You tell me otherwise. Who is it? Who is it? Who is God then? Okay, they may say Lord Shiva. Okay, we're ready. They may say Lord Brahma. We're ready. Anyone else is God? Aren't there any claimants to have God? No. Krishna is the best claimant. He's the most perfect record of a person who's fully transcendental, fully all-powerful, all-knowing, all-rich, all-merciful, all the good qualities. So we have this to offer us. It's the main thing that we're offering. It's Krishna. Therefore, Hare Krishna movement. And Hare is the energy, Radharani and Krishna. So. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Next, what's next?